Namaste. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to look at another SQL interview question that was asked by Lyft. It's hosted on the platform Stratascratch and it's marked as medium. So we'll just look right into the question. So let's see what the problem says here. So we are supposed to find the top 10 users that have traveled the greatest distance, output their ID, name, and a total distance traveled. So we'll now have a look at our tables. So we have the user ID, distance, and then we have the ID and the names. So looking at this problem, what we have to do here is essentially we will try to get the total distance traveled per user, and then we have to order it by the total distance, and then we can perform a limit to get the top 10 users. And after that, since it asks us to get the name, we'll have to link our IDs, the user ID for this table with the ID in this table to get the names of the top 10, to get the names of the top 10 users. So yeah, like if you have a closer look at this table, you can see user one appears twice, and you can see many other users who are repeating, meaning you have to perform an aggregation over this user ID to get the sum distance. So we'll try to first get the user IDs in one place, and then corresponding to each user ID, we'll get the sum distance for each user ID. And after doing the sum distance, we'll just order it by in descending order, and we're going to limit it to 10. So we'll get the top 10 users with the greatest distance. And to get the names, we'll perform a join with this table, and we have to join it on ID so that we can get the names and get the desired output in this form. So let's just start coding this up. And I'm going to first perform like a group by on user ID to get the total distance, and we'll see how does that look. So I'm going to do select user underscore ID, comma, sum of distance, because we need the total distance traveled per user, right? And then I'm going to reference my table here. So from this, and then I'm going to group by user ID. And then I'll order it by the sum distance because we need the users who have traveled the greatest distance. So we're going to order it by the sum distance. So order by 2, and I have to put DSC clause here. And I'm going to have to limit it to 10 because we need only the top 10 users. So let's see what does this give us. So yeah, we have got the user ID now. And so suppose corresponding to user 47, the total distance they have traveled is 328. So pretty much a good part of the problem is done. Now we just need to get the names corresponding to these users. So for this, I'm going to perform a join. So this table, so let's just first wrap it in a subquery. You can even use a CTE, wrap it in a with, but it's your choice. It's optional. So I'm going to name it as A. So from table A, I'm going to join my second table, which is Lyft users. So join Lyft users, and I'm going to alias it as B, and my join will be on A dot user underscore ID equal to B dot ID, right? Because I want to join this user with this ID, so I can get the names corresponding to each user. So yes, so now I think that the join part is done, and now we just have to select what is given here. So select A dot user underscore ID, comma, from the second table we need the names, right? B dot name. So if you look at the second table, we want the names corresponding to each user ID, right? So B dot name, comma, and then we need a sum distance. So we will write A dot, I'm going to alias this as X. So that I don't have to type the entire thing in here. So A dot X. So yeah, so I'm going to select that from this appended table, which has the corresponding names for the distances. So yeah, I think this looks good, and we'll just try to run this and see what we get here. So yeah, we have got our outputs, but as you can see, it's not in in descending order. So I'll have to perform a order by clause outside it. So order by 3. So we'll order by the sum distances here, and I'm going to put a DESE. So let's see what do we get here. So yeah, exactly. This is what we needed. So now we have the top 10 users that have traveled the greatest distances. So I can probably rename this to as total distance traveled, and probably this change it to the same. So now we have it. So essentially what we did here, in our first table, we realized we need to aggregate over the user IDs to get the total distance. And then we order it in descending order to get the top 10 distances. And so now we have the user ID, and corresponding to each user ID, we have the distances ranked in descending order to get the top 10 users. Now, after having the users, we need their names. So to do that, we'll have to perform an inner join. So we have to join on a.user_id equal to b.id. And yeah, finally, after joining in, we created a subquery here. And after our entire table is created, we just query the things we need in accordance with the question from the join table. So that was it for this question. Let me know in the comment section below if this video was useful to you, and if you want more videos like this in the future.